Hi everyone, welcome to this video. In this one, I wanted to talk about Metasploitable 3. Now, why? Metasploitable 3 is really, if you look at it, it's a VM that is built from ground up with a large amount of security vulnerabilities. Now, you may be thinking, hey, we all know about Metasploitable 2, right? So yeah, Metasploitable 2 we all probably have used. It's really easy to set up. You have Metasploitable 2 that you download as a VM. You just import it to the VirtualBox and you have an environment that's ready. You can use Docker if you like to deploy Metasploitable and watch some of my other videos how to do that very easily. But in this one, Metasploitable 3, it's it's not as easy. Okay, it's a little bit different. You have to go through some amount of setup to get one Metasploitable 3 VM up and ready that you should or that you can use for your pen testing lab environment and learn different vulnerability how to exploit them. Now, here in this page, I'm gonna give you the link to this, but it's pretty just if you just do a Google search for Metasploitable 3. Again, it's right now maintained and purchased by Rapid7. They are working on it and managing everything. And if you look at the quick start, the whole bunch of different ways to deploy this one. We're gonna look at the Windows one, okay? But please note that building Metasploitable 3, really, you gotta meet these requirements. You gotta have the Packer setup, you gotta have the Vagrant setup, you gotta make sure that Vagrant reload plugin is available, and you also need the VirtualBox. Okay, finally the internet connection. Okay, hopefully that is known for you. So what you do, you first go to the Packer. Okay, and I'll show you the steps you need. So you go to Packer, okay, and you go through the tutorial and for installing the Packer, and you look for how can I do that. Okay, and again, there are multiple different ways to do that, and the way that I did, I just pre-compiled the binary. I just got this one, I just downloaded this one. Okay, that actually downloaded the Packer file. Okay, what I did, I opened this one and I extracted this one to say here. So you just download the file and you extract it, say here. Okay, so you got the Packer file, and this is the the executable that you need to run when you're running the Packer. So what I did, I just moved that to some folder that I know I have access to. So like I moved that to right here. Okay, that you can put it anywhere you like. I just put it here. Okay, and here is my Packer, and there's the path. Okay, so this time I could just only update my path and I should be good, right? So if I do cmd, that brings up the path, and if I run Packer, I have everything available. So I know that I made the first condition, right? I have the Packer, it's now installed, it's doing good, I'm happy. So the next thing we need to do is look for the Vagrant. Now Vagrant is also, it's not too bad. You just go to Vagrant. Again, it's managed and maintained by HashiCorp, just like the Packer one. That one also, uh, is it HashiCorp? No, it's not HashiCorp. This one is by HashiCorp, who also developed the Terraform, which I absolutely love, by the way. So here you just go to the download page, and again, download your AMD64 if you're using Windows. And again, I have downloaded that one, and here's the file. All you need to do, you just click on it, and it's the executable file, and you just go through the installation process, right? Go to the installation process, just use the standard step, all the default options, everything is good. So once this is done, so you'll meet the second condition. Okay, so I'm not going to do the installation, it's a standard, just take a few minutes and you're done. So once you do that, what you have done so far, so you made these two conditions, but you do have to run that command, a command to get the reload plugin. And to do that, you'll be running this command. Okay, so once if you have installed the Vagrant properly, so what will happen if you run the Vagrant, it should also give you some options, right? That would tell you, okay, my Vagrant is actually installed properly. So let's view that if we got that one correctly. So it's taking a little bit of time. Let's sure, yeah, there are all the commands that I have for the Vagrant. Okay, dash H for help, all of that. So Vagrant, I know it's available. So all you need to do is copy this command and you run it. Oops, I copied two wrong things. You copy this command, come back over here, and come here and run this. And you may need to be admin for this command. No, I don't think you don't need to. It's running fine. And this one I actually already ran. So it should say that, hey, you have already installed, but this is how you would install that particular plugin, and it's there. And the final thing then that's left is VirtualBox. I have already installed. So if you don't have VirtualBox, you just go to VirtualBox again and just get the VirtualBox. Okay, VirtualBox is not the only thing. If you can use VMware, okay, you can use Peros if you like, but VirtualBox is free, so I'm gonna stick to that one. So that's about it. So you have all that. So once you have all that, what you need to do, you need to run these commands. Okay, mkdr metasploitable, then workspace. So what I have already done, if you look at it, I have created this folder structure. I created a folder under my documents. I called it Ethical Hacking Lab, and I called it a Metasploitable 3 workspace. Okay, and that's the command I ran to do that Metasploitable workspace. And then I did a cd to Metasploitable 3, and that's where I am right now. And if you look at the last command I ran, there you go, and the command is invoke request. Make it a little bit big. So invoke request, then I went after where am I? So I'm going to go after the Vagrant file, and then out file to Vagrant file. Okay, that's what I have done. Once that's done, then if you run the Vagrant up command, so what this command is actually going to do, it is actually going to download a whole bunch of stuff for you. Let me see, I have already cleared the history, so you won't be able to see that again. But once you run the command, that is what is going to happen. Okay, it's going to download the Vagrant file and the OVA, everything that is needed to create the Metasploitable 3 VM. It's going to download all of that. And to compile that one, you needed all of the stuff, the packer, the Vagrant, everything that you have downloaded and configured. You needed all that. All right. So let's get rid of this one. And the last command you need to bring up is the Vagrant. So another thing, if I do your ls, there should be that Vagrant file. Okay. So if you want, you can always take a look at that, say notepad, and then Vagrant file. Let's look at what we have. So here's a Vagrant configuration that we have the config folder. Looks like there's a Ubuntu, some stuff in going on there. There's a VM if it's Win 2K8. So you can review this, okay, and see what's going on with this. There is some file configuration and all of that stuff. And please notice here is the default SSH username and password. Now please notice that in this configuration that I'm working with, this one is a PowerShell, it's not a command window. So the commands that we're running, they are PowerShell commands. Okay. So the command that I ran, invoke web request, it is a PowerShell command. It is not going to be available in uh, in a in a command window. So the last thing will be Vagrant, VAGR, Vagrant, and then up. Okay, if you run this command, this will bring up the VM. And what I've already done actually, so it's beginning the meshing, it's creating, it's the checking box and all of that stuff. And if you look at it over here, okay, so this is gonna create a couple of machines over here. It's gonna do the Metasploitable 3 workspace. You don't need that one, and it will have Metasploitable 3 UB0104. Now I already ran that command previously, and here it is saying, hey, you have a problem because I ran the command already, I configured, and all of that stuff is already there. So for the first time when you run this, it will create all of that. And once you have this, only thing you need to worry about is that Vagrant Metasploitable 3 VM. You just start it the way, and how to attack this VM, that's a different topic. But pretty much you have to configure the networking just a little to be able to access this machine, right? But this is my Metasploitable 3 VM, and those are the steps I had to follow to come up mm, uh, and configure my environment. And this Ubuntu, it's using Ubuntu 14.04. It's a vulnerable Ubuntu machine that I can use for testing. And this one, which one is it? Vagrant, and it is. So remember the default username and password for this particular vulnerable machine. It's the Vagrant and Vagrant, and I've already configured. Let's try google.com, and I have connectivity, so I have configured this one in a way that I have two different networks that I have configured for this. We go there, I to the network card. I created two different adapter. One is the NAT, and I also have an IP that I'm getting from the from my ISP. So you don't really need both of them. It depends on your lab network that you're trying to configure. So my end goal is use this Kali machine to attack this Metasploitable one. So if you look at my Kali machine, and I'm actually having an adapter which we will add. I don't have it yet, so I'll probably make one adapter that is only part of an internal network. So these machines, all of that I'm gonna attack, they're gonna be part of an internal network where the no internet connection is available, and then in one of them I'll add internet to get updates, stuff like that. Okay, but that's about it. How you configure your Metasploitable 3. It just takes a little bit of time, but if you spend this amount of time, it's going to be worth it, and it will have Metasploitable 3 will be available to you as to do all of your pen testing. And again, it's just an upgrade from your Metasploitable version 2. So give it a shot, see how long it takes for you to deploy and configure, and let me know if the video was useful at all. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.